everyone, it's me, Angela Martin, and welcome to another quick cast. Now, in our previous episode, we ended off by applying our different focus modes to our customizable lock screen. Now, in this episode, we're going to take it a step further and look at how we can create our own focus modes. Now, keep in mind, guys, that this feature came out with iOS 16. So it is available on the iPhones, whether you're running iOS 16 or 17. But now it becomes even better with running the customizable lock screen, as you can add this with your focus mode as well. So without any further ado, let's get started. So by now you would have used your focus modes for different tasks. So for instance, you were in a meeting and you switch your focus mode on Do Not Disturb. But the cool thing about using your focus modes is the fact that it will automatically be enabled, or even in this case disabled. So whether you're doing the meeting on a location where you can disable when you leave the location, or even if you plan it in your calendar. In another case, say for instance when you're driving, which is normally set up on your iPhone, where it can be triggered either with CarPlay or even be triggered with, if you're driving a much older model car that doesn't have CarPlay, you can do it on automatic, where the focus mode is triggered by the motion of the car, or where it is the Bluetooth that triggers it, or even if you're disciplined enough to turn it on manually. Now, besides the standard focus modes that's available to you, you can also set up your own focus modes. And that we will do if we go into our settings app and in our focus setting. And here you can see these are the standard focus modes that the device comes with. If I should tap on the plus, I can choose to create a fitness, mindfulness, or work focus as well, or just made my own custom one. Now what these focus modes are is just a focus mode that has got its own standard template. Now if it's beyond the scope of these three, you can go to custom. And the only difference between custom and the other three is that you must give it its own name, as well as choose its own icon or glyph, as well as the color. So I'm going to base this focus mode on an extended break, whether it is by vacation, or if you're not working on weekends, or even if you are taking some leave, you can set this focus for that purpose. So I'm going to name this focus mode break time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a nice little color, and I'm going to choose the house glyph as my icon for my focus mode. I tap on next, and yeah, it will specify what I can do within the building this focus. I'll customize focus, and I'll start from the top to the bottom, and starting with the silent notifications. I start with people, and here I can choose to get the notifications from these people here. Alternatively, I can silence these people and all other notifications from other people will come through. I've got quite a large list of people in my contacts list, so I'm going to go allow from, and I'm going to disable maybe a few of the people that I don't want in this list. And I can also add more people, so you can add in one more person here. Tap on done, just tap on next. And now it takes me to the next screen to choose calls to allow. I've got all my people set up in my favorites list, so I'm going to just choose my favorite list. Alternatively, you can choose any of these other options as well. So I'm just going to tap on done. Now the same that I've done with the people, I can also do with the apps. So again, I've got quite a number of apps, many of them being my work apps. So I can allow notifications from these apps, or I can again silence these notifications, and all other notifications on my iPad will come through from different apps. For now, I'm just going to go with allow notifications from, and I'm just going to disable a few like Kahoot, which is one of my work apps, Shelby, and I will disable my mail one as well. I can also then add other, like for instance, my music app. And tap on done and done. Now on top of that, I can also customize the screens. Now because customizable lock screens is available on iPadOS 17, I can now even choose that as well. So I'll choose my one screen, tap on done, and also I can choose the different home screen pages that can be available when this focus mode is triggered. So I'm going to take the ones with the widgets as well as the one that contains all my entertainment apps. So I'll choose those two only. Further on, I can now choose my triggers, which will be setting my smart activation for that focus mode. So I'm going to turn it on and I will then choose what will trigger it. So I'll go to schedule and I can set it by time, location or app. So for now, I'm just going to go to my time. Weekends I'm not working, so I'm going to disable my weekdays. And for my weekends, I'm going to then choose from Saturday, it must be triggered, say at about 6, and it must then disable this focus mode, say at about 11 p.m. So from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. from Saturday to Sunday, that will then automatically trigger it. If you go on vacation and you want a location to trigger because you're going to that location, then you can also set it to the location as well. Alternatively, use the app option to trigger the focus mode. So here I can then go to my filters and I can choose different filters, my app filters as well as system filters. Let's start with the app filter, starting with the calendar. And here I can choose different calendars that will be accessible for me when this focus is on. So I go to choose and I don't want any of my work calendars to be active. So I'll choose my personal calendar, my family calendar, as well as my holidays calendars. And then tap on done and tap on add, and then I'll go back to adding another filter. Now here you'll see that I've got another filter which you might not have. Only if you do have the third-party app called Fantastical, it will add in as a filter option as well. So guys, check out Fantastical on the App Store. Once you choose it, you will also have the filter available when setting up a focus. So I'll go to Fantastical and I'll say all calendars and I'll add that as well. And I'll go to filter. This time around I will filter my mail accounts. I don't want to have access to my work mail, so I'll just choose my personal ones. Tap on add, go to the next filter and messages. Now with the messages, it will only filter the people that you have set to the notifications. So I'll choose filter by people's list and add. Go to filter again, go to my Safari browser. And here I can choose profiles or tab groups. I will come back to profiles, as profiles is a new feature within iPadOS 17. So I'm just going to go with tab groups for now. I'm going to choose my group. I'll choose the fun group for this one and I'll tap on add. And I'll just go and add a filter again. And this time around I can choose any of my system filters. Appearance, I will just keep it as light. Choose another filter. Turn on low power mode. Sure, I'll keep that on. And my last filter in my system filters, silent mode, turn on. Now I'll disable that and add that. So now that I've got my focus all set up, go back to focus and there's my break time focus mode all set up. So now if I should go into my control center and I go to focus and let's turn break time on, you will see it will automatically go to the background that I chose. I can then go into even my Customise home screen and I can tap on my different pages and you'll see it will only show those 2 pages that I've selected. There's the glyph or the icon that I've made for my break time focus. Tap on done and it will also be available if I go into my customizable lock screen. You will see it will also indicate there that it's under that focus mode. So guys, that is it for this episode. So stay tuned to the next one where we will be looking at the stage manager within iPadOS 17. And that is me, Angela Martin. Farewell and good fortune.